Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. Today on islandrealestate.com we're going to show a brief webcast overview for adding a new property into your islandrealestate.com advertising account. We're going to cover a fair bit of detail, but we'll do it fairly quickly, and then there's other videos that will show smaller sections of it as well. As we do with all, we'll start by logging in. Just click the login link at the bottom of the page, and that will take us into our agent account. Today we're going to be adding a property, the account for Coldwell Banker, KF Real Estate in Puerto Rico. As you'll see on the agent dashboard, there's the profile section here, and if we click that link, it'll just show us a little bit of information about the agent, whose account we're adding the property to. It's where you go if you want to change your password, is pretty much the only reason that anybody goes in there after they've set their account up. It's because you want to reset your password. For the property section here, if you wish to make an edit or change to one of your existing properties, they'll all load down into this page, and the properties will load with the most recently uploaded property first, and working its way down to the property that is at the end of the list will be the property that was loaded into the site first. You can search for your properties here by title. You can enter just a couple of letters out of any title, and then click the filter results button here to have it work. It doesn't work to enter the carriage return or enter key on your computer. And that, because we put in LUX, brings up any properties that have the LUX in their title. Okay? Since we're here to actually add a new property, we won't stay in this property database any longer. We're going to go to the Add Property section of the site. And that brings us into a fairly clean page and interface for adding your property. So where you put the title, here's your content editor, information entry section here. And then after that, we just scroll down below and we'll come across the various form fields and drop-down boxes to add additional data on your property. And I'll take you through that very shortly. So with that said, let's get started. I'm just going to paste in some data that I already set aside earlier for this property, so I'm not going back and forth from this window screen to another. Here's our title information, and it goes right in here. I'll tell you that initially we had hoped that our title was going to be able to be longer than what it is. You've got all this space here that you can keep on typing, but at that point in time you're going to end up forcing your title to go into 2 lines, and we're only allowing a single line for the title until we wrap or lock that down. 40 characters is your limit, and you can use the left edge of the window here for the font family as your guide. Once you go past that left edge there, you'll be beyond the 40 characters, and you'll be at risk of having us need to edit your property title. So now we're going to put the tagline in. It follows the same parameters, 40 characters, as does the title, and we just put it down below, and I'm just kind of doing this to get it done and out of the way. So a little bit of up and down here as I do that. And now that we have the title in, the tagline in down below, and the content here, I'm going to convert the content into Arial. That's just my preference. I prefer that as a font. And now we're going to add the images or photos for the property. Those are sitting here for me. We didn't even have to select that Add Media button. I just grabbed the images, and I'm going to drop them right onto the content editor. And here they come into the site. We're in this account's master image database right now, so that's why you see some additional images down below here that weren't part of what I just dragged and dropped onto the desktop. And this is the way the site functions. You come into this main database section first, and then we'll actually go into the images just meant for this property. While these images are uploading and crunching, they're actually already pre-formatting themselves down the right-hand side of the public side of this property on the website. We don't need to do anything else now. If we did nothing else, those images would automatically be appearing in that right sidebar of the property presentation page. So all we're going to do now is we're going to clear those check marks so we don't insert them all into the content section of the website. And now we'll go to this drop down box and we're going to get these images skinnied away from the main database because we don't need to be with our entire database. We just want to focus on this one property now. There's two things we want to do while we're in here. One is we want to select the main image that will show up in the property search results on the website when people are scrolling through the different properties. And I normally select a photo that's got, the nice blues of the sky or the ocean or the water, something that's going to catch people's eye and something that's naturally conducive with the other colors of the site. So I've picked this one and I've dropped it up into this top left corner because that's the position for that search result image. It's that top left corner. If I put this image over here, well then that would be the image that would show up in search results. This is the one I want to be there, so I'm going to put it in that top left position. I hope that's clear. The next thing that we want to do is we want to select which image we want to insert into the content section of the site. You can select one or two. So far I've always only just selected the one. And this one is a map, an aerial map image, and so I'll select that. And it doesn't have to go in that position. It can be in any position here that you select this image for to put into the content section of the site. But I just put it there because it's next to the other image. And then I always know that the image that's in this spot is the one that is in the content section of the site. So later on, if I come in to edit the property, I know that this is the image that I'm going to want to edit. Also, the final thing to comment on here is when we're in the uploaded to this page section, that's when we can move the images around and drag and drop them. When we're in the master database section, the all media items section, you can't move them around. It's only when you're in the uploaded to this page section that you can move them around. So now let's insert that image into the page and carry on with our property content upload and addition. The other thing that we want to do while we're in here, this is the spot where we're going to want to place the video link to any video that you may have on YouTube or Visual Tour. So I just grabbed the code there for the Visual Tour, and we're going to add it as a media item. And in order to get the Visual Tour image that we put on here for you folks, it's not going to work on the image uploaded to this page because we uploaded into your master database. So we're going to go to the all media items, and there it is, YT, which is the first two letters of the title of this image for YouTube, except we're wanting to deal with Visual Tour, which is VT. So VT, we put it in there, all media items, and there it is. And here is where we get to format the Visual Tour image. I always set it to center. The link is going to a custom URL, and you may have saw I copied and pasted that from the content section. I brought it in there. I'm just going to paste that there. That's it, and we'll insert that into the page. And there's our Visual Tour now, showing up in the content section of our site. These parameters here, those are the parameters for the latitude and longitude of the property, which we secured from latlong.net. It's a quick and easy way to get the actual parameters you want for your address location. And I'm just going to jump down and drop those in now so we can get those cleared out of the way. We'll set the coordinates manually. We'll put those in there. The longitude is this number. Put that down below into its box. We'll take that comma out of there. And so now we've inserted the property content, the image information. We've inserted our Visual Tour and our map information. And all we want to do now is begin inserting the information on the property itself. We'll start. The property type is land. Ownership is freehold. Toll-free number, we don't have one of those here. That's for later. The MLS ID, or the property ID, depending on which market you are in. Different markets have different parameters for that. So this one, it's an MLS ID. If you also had a property ID, you only need to insert the one. We'll only pay attention to one. So if you're in a market that uses property IDs, put it in the property ID slot. If your market uses MLS IDs, use that one, but don't use both. It's just not necessary. It's the Caribbean is the region. The island is Puerto Rico. There isn't a local island for this location. Community here is in the Puerto Nuevo. So we're going to put that into the community. We've got address information here, which is here. And, just excuse me as I go back and forth here with this data. The city is Ito. And we'll go right here. Get our zip code, and we'll be done with this. And now we'll just complete the information on the property. It's for sale. The location, it's overland. The property is a land parcel. Class is residential, I believe. The lot size, we're going to grab that, is 11.86 acres. That in. And the price is the only other information that we need, and it is $400,000. Currency on that is US dollars. And now I put in the agency name, which is Coldwell, and it's pre-configured. And so is Catherine, and the telephone number 787. That's it. And that's the mobile number. And that is all of our information. We can now take this property, submit it for review, and if we wanted to, we could have previewed it first, and we can still do that now. We can click the preview button, and that will give us an idea of how this property is going to look on the site when it is published. And you'll see we've got our headline here, a tagline coming through. There's the image in that position as I had shown you for the content section of the site. Here's our visual tour. If we click that, it will take us through to the visual tour that is set up for this property. And you don't need to watch all of that right now. And then here's the content information on the property itself. And then here is the map, and we can take it to the satellite view if we wish, and that will bring us right down again to where this property is located in Puerto Rico, and that lines up exactly with the map that is on the property's original site section. And that's it, everybody. You'll see here as well, down the right side of the page, that's where the images. Remember I told you that automatically by loading your images into the media file, they automatically are pre-configured to load down the right-hand side of the page. If we had done nothing else and just come in here and looked at this page on the preview, we'd have seen those images down that right-hand side. So that's it. That's the process for adding a property to your islandrealestate.com advertising account. We've also showed you how to put in the visual tour or YouTube editor. It's just a matter of selecting which image you want to link to with that. VT for visual tour, and you can put in YT to search for the YouTube image. And then one other thing is we put in the coordinates, which you're familiar with, for bringing in your map image for Google Maps as part of your property presentation. If you have any questions, or if there's anything else that we can do to assist you with adding your properties, please let us know. Thank you again for stopping by.